Tonight we're going to do some calibrations. I think Elvie's got something lined up, but does anyone have any burning questions you'd like to bring up? Anything you'd like to bring up? I put the one in the chat if you're new. We'd like to acknowledge you and welcome you. Thank you, Bob, for putting us on Facebook. All right. Okay, right. So, Ivy, are you here?
I'm
Ivy?
here.
Let's see. Albie. Yes. Hi, Albie. Yeah. Have you got a call lined up for us to calibrate this evening?
Yep. I have a call from Cheryl since it's been long since we've heard one from her. So I have one. Okay, let me share my audio. Should I play it now?
Yes. Go ahead and play now.
Okay, got you.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hey,
I'm looking for Michael Murphy.
I'm sorry, there was no one by the name of that number.
I'm so sorry. By the way, sir, my name is Shara, and I work with the Home Buyers Network. And I was just calling to see if you have properties that you might consider selling by any chance.
No, not looking to sell right now.
Okay, are you thinking about selling in a month or two, or maybe in 6 months?
No, it'd be more like 3 years, 4 years.
3 to 4 years. And
Yes.
what are you thinking about possibly selling in 3 to 4 years?
My house?
Yeah. Is this your property on?
No, that's not mine.
Oh, do you have several properties?
No, I think that's for the person that you were expecting the call.
Okay, I understand. Well, I just wanted to ask her if what are you thinking about possibly selling your property on maybe 2 to 3 years?
Say it again?
What are you thinking about possibly selling your property on 3 to 4 years
To move?
to move out to another city, or are you do you want to upgrade a home like or
Yeah,
downsizing?
potentially upgrade, yes.
And what number do you have in mind for your property?
You know, I'm really not sure. Hopefully, between 250 and 300.
250 and 300. All right, 200. So can I ask the address of the property that you might be interested in selling? All right, just a moment. Mm-hmm. It seems like a nice property.
Thank you.
And yeah. Oh, right. Is there? Can you confirm the beds and baths of this property?
The what?
Can you confirm the beds and baths of this property?
I'm
The
sorry, the
bath.
what? Oh, the beds and baths.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
3 beds, 1.5 bath.
3 beds and 1.5 baths. And the square foot of this property?
1,052.
1,052. All right. Well, can you rate the condition of the property? Like, 1 to 10. 10 is being the brand new.
Um, Very good. I don't know, whatever that would be.
Okay. And is are you living it right now? Yeah.
Yes.
right? So we can close as quickly as slowly as you'd like. So with that being said, can you possibly sell it before 3 years?
No, that's really the earliest timeline.
All right. Well, if we ever come up with your asking price, would you be possible in discussing terms?
Potentially in 3 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And is there any wiggle room in the price range?
Possibly. It depends on the market at the time.
All right. Well, is there any back taxes and mortgages? May,
Say it again.
is there any back taxes or mortgage in this property?
Yeah, I have a mortgage.
Mm-hmm. And how much mortgage do you have for this property? Like,
Uh,
the balance you need to pay?
I mean, at least 200,000.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I guess that's all for now. Thank you so much for your time, sir. And I'm going to send this information up to our property specialist, and they'll do the due diligence and give you a call back, and maybe you can see if we can close deal and we can buy your property within the next 3 years.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much for answering this call, and have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
I think I'll be. So, whose call was this we were listening to?
Shara.
Shara. Let's see, are we? Shara's on the call. Yeah. Hi, hey, Shara.
Hey, Rhea. Good morning.
Good morning. Congratulations. I understand you're new to this. So very good. Well, listening to your call, that's probably the first time you've listened to your call, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, good job for getting started. Some don't get past the start line, so you've started your journey. Well, how did you feel? What sort of feedback have you got for yourself listening to the call?
At first, I'm not sure if that was a good lead because when I confirmed in Zillow the beds and the bath of the property, it was different and it was marked as sold. And before continuing to, ask some questions regarding to the property, I was hoping he changed his mind, like selling it before 3 to 4 years. That's why I asked a few questions about the condition, the price. Yeah, but I feel like it was not um, a good lead because yeah, as what I have said, the information he gave me was different from the Zillow, and I'm not sure if he's saying the truth or just making like a story.
Okay. Good job going through the whole script. I can clearly see that you went through the script. Yes, as Mohammed has just pointed out, I believe it was the wrong number at the beginning of the call. I think he said that he's not the person you were looking for. Did you hear him
Yeah.
say that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I also forgot to ask his name before ending the call to
yeah,
verify. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That's
my
good.
bad. Mhm.
No, this is your first call, so you're not going to get everything. Yeah, but you're right. We need the name. If we got the wrong person, that's perfectly okay. I mean, he stayed on the phone, which was remarkable. So, and he wasn't even interested in selling his house for at least 4 years. But you did a good job going through the whole script. Um, but it wasn't really matching to his situation at all. So he was
Yeah.
very patient with you, which was very nice of him. But yeah, we have to match. We have to be able to pivot to who we've got on the phone. So we have to meet them where they're at. Yeah, we're not. The idea isn't to get through the script. The idea is to make a connection with the person on the other end. So it's important, that we're able to pivot and ask questions that are relevant to the seller. So we have to be able to adapt. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good job getting started. What other feedback do we have from anyone else? I'm looking around.
Anybody else in the
Yeah.
group have some feedback? Marlon, people that have just done a role play, any feedback? Kevin, Raw, let's get some participation tonight for our last night together.
Well, just what I think she did great on this call was like she kept the communication, like the conversation with the customer, right? I like the fact she was able to to go over some proven questions, which I consider is the key of this business. And yeah, she pretty much covered most of the questions. Yeah, I really like the call handling, or the way she asks the questions.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, I want to point out something that Graham mentioned, it bears repeating though. That was really pivotal, key, and the most important thing on this call. When she got the wrong number, she didn't bail on the call. Does everybody know what bailing on the call is? You can just shake your head yes if you know what bailing on a call is. If not, say no. I'm only getting a couple of responses from the ringers in here, so I'm going to say bailing on the call is jumping off the call. I saw Jose G nodding his head. You know what that is. That's when you get off the call when it gets uncomfortable, when you get a wrong number, or they're like, who's this? Or it just starts to get a little bit uncomfortable, a little hot in there. You're like, okay, bye. Sorry, bye, click. Or you just hang up, you don't even say anything. It's like, oh, the line disconnected. Whew, got out of there. So we get the most reward when we fight through that, when we bust through that discomfort, when we sit in that discomfort. So she got the wrong number. She's like, nope, wrong number or something like that. She goes, okay, well, so sorry. We're actually real estate investors. And do you have any other properties that you're thinking about selling? He's like, nope, not this one. I got one, but maybe no, not right now or something like that. And she's like, well, when? And then he's like, three or 4 years. And she's still stuck with it. So that is the most important part of this call. And that will get you into other calls, and that will get you leads. That will get us leads. By not being stuck or handcuffed by the information that was given, and be like, oh, that's it, I'm done, this is dead, there's nothing here. The fact that you're able to pivot and still continue that conversation will pay dividends. So that is a really great part of this call, a great thing that she did on that call.
That's right. In fact, a recent competition, that's what Pace did, and he got someone that was, from what I understand, it was not the next person, but then drilling into their network. So it was too deep to networking, and he looked up 11 properties from it in a competition, because he kept going. He kept the person on the phone. So that's very important. So we try to squeeze the juice out of every person we talk to. So wrong number is a very common way of digging into somebody else's network or getting another lead. So that was outstanding. don't be frightened of having a conversation with them. I've gone off the script. That doesn't matter. Keep irrelevant to the person you're talking to. Jana, did you have a question? Saw your hand rise up for a short while. Yeah. Any other feedback?
I also believe it was a good call. It became from a wrong number to a lead. Sometimes, just like Cody said, but sometimes you can actually tell when the person doesn't give up on the call as well. You can tell, but just by their demeanor or how they act, how they say wrong number. The good thing is that Shara actually just stuck with just kept going with the script. So she did get something out of nothing, basically. So good job.
Yeah, good point. And I think this was your very first call, was it, Shara? Jana, you've got a question again. Yeah.
No, I actually have some feedback.
Okay.
No, this is not Sheriff's first call, but we barely listened to one of her calls, so I think it was a good idea to pull one from hers. But my feedback was I don't know if it was just me because I'm on my phone today, but it sounded very low, like the call. So I would say work on first troubleshooting your mic, making sure that doing a test call to make sure that it's not like a mic issue. But if it's not, work on raising your voice a little bit, because it also plays into kind of how confident you sound on the call. So I say be more present when it comes to your conversations, because the voice was very, very low, to the point that I think he even asked, "What are you asking about back to back?" So I would say work on that a little bit, on raising your voice a little bit, and maybe troubleshooting your mic to see if that's the problem.
Good feedback, yeah. It's very important that they hear us. Yeah. And while we're on that subject, match their energy, mirror them. And the other feedback. Oh. All right. Well, do we have another call we can listen to?
Yes, yes. I do have one from Jose G.
All right, let's go.
Hold on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing, William? This is Jose with Home Buyers Network. I'm calling about your investors. I just wanted to see if you consider selling.
Y'all have mistaken information. That property is the nursing home where my mother used to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Understood. Well, we're really looking to buy property. Do you have any property you'd be interested in selling?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Perfect. What's the address? Okay. All right. Could you tell me a little bit about the property? Condition-wise on the inside?
The condition is not good on the inside. It has mildew and mold because nobody's lived there for 8 years since my mother was in the nursing home.
Oh.
And yeah, and it needs a new water heater, new stovetop, new oven, carpeting, and new bathroom fixtures. Plus, you would probably have to have sheetrock abatement and replace all the sheetrock.
Okay. So it's been vacant for 8 years?
8 years, yes,
Okay.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it is going to need some work. It has mildew. Okay, and all this stuff. Now, so have you thought about a price?
I have an idea, man, that you'd have to make an offer.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, we do have different options. You know, if we were to come up to your asking price, would you be open for discussing terms?
I have to see what you're gonna offer first,
Okay, yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
and also the property is going through probate. In fact, I got a probate meeting next week, and after it goes through probate, then I can finalize the sale.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Mm.
Okay, okay. So your mother's no longer with us, right?
Right, she passed
sorry.
away in this
Sorry to
past
hear that.
August. Yeah.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that, brother.
Mm.
That's tough. I know it's tough. Okay, so let's say that we do come to an agreement about a price. We do close quickly or slowly, all depending on your convenience.
Hmm.
Being that said, what will be your time frame on closing? I know you said after probate, but how soon would you like to close? After probate.
Well, the lawyers is handling the probate. Once we get the probate through, then I'm supposed to do a title search to get clear titles, and we can make a sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a mortgage on the property?
No.
No. Okay. And you will be the only person making the decisions, correct?
Yes, I have power of attorney after my mother passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do have power of attorney. Okay, perfect. Okay. As of now, I do have all the information. I'm going to send this over to the property specialist. They're going to do their due diligence and give you a call back. Is this the best number to reach you?
Yeah, this is my cell phone. Yes,
And-
right.
Okay. And when is the best time to give you a call? Mornings, afternoons, or evenings?
I would say afternoon.
Afternoons? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I'm definitely going to send this out to the property specialist, and they're going to give you a call soon. It was good talking to you, brother. Take care,
Okay.
man. All right.
All right. Have a good one. All right.
You too.
Fantastic. Whose call was this? Was it yours, Jose?
Yes, that was mine.
Fantastic. Great job. You probably heard that for the first time. What's your feedback on your own call? How did you feel about it?
There is some, there's some questions that I probably missed that I should have asked. But I believe it, I did try to pay attention as much as I could, did try to ask him questions about, whenever he said probate, of course, I knew something was going on. So I asked him about his mother, you know, just so he would feel comfortable with the call as well. But over and all, I think it went well. I think it went well.
Yeah, it did. You matched his tone. You were empathetic, which I really enjoyed. You engaged him. You asked relevant questions. You didn't seem to miss on the questions, so that was really good. What questions do you think you could have asked as well as what you did? You said you
Mm,
mentioned.
Yeah, the price. I really didn't get the price. I didn't want to push too much on the price. I figured that, property specialists could, take over there on that end. Um, Also his name, if his name was correct, if the information was correct, um, just yes, some questions like that.
Yeah, yeah. One of the questions we would probably want you to ask is, what siblings does he have? It's going through probate. Who else is involved? Has an executor been appointed for the estate? No, we mentioned a POA, but it's my understanding a POA becomes invalid after there's a death.
Right.
The court's appoint in probate the court appoints an executor, somebody who manages the estate. Sounds like he was going to become the executor. He made reference to a meeting. So you could ask what that meeting is about. Is that to establish the executor of the estate so we know who we're talking to? You know, what was that meeting about? Is probate just starting? It sounded like it was, you know. Does everybody understand what probate is, or does anyone have any questions about what probate is? It's worth knowing a few basic things when this comes up.
Yeah, I don't personally know what the noun means, but I think it has to do with the fact that it's a property being passed down from someone who's not here anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah, but probate, there's one or two ways it can go. If the person who's died has a will, then it doesn't have to go through probate, you see. So unless there is a cap actually for each state, but normally if there's a will, the property doesn't have to go through probate. If it has to go through, when it goes through probate, there usually isn't a will. So the court will decide how the funds are going to be distributed. Probate can take a long time. So that's a big factor. When we're talking about this, we need to know whether it's at the beginning of probate or at what stage it is at. So there's we need to know who the inheritors will be. It's the duty of the executor to distribute the funds, and they can take a fee for doing that. So, yeah, it's pretty much how to manage the property. So, when the property owner dies, there's then an estate that has to be managed. And so, probate is the way for us to decide how to distribute the funds from the probate. So the property has to be sold, or one of the siblings could buy it, and you have to buy out the other siblings. You know, that's another way of doing it.
Very good point, Graham. Very good. So that's when somebody dies with property, that's called they die with the will, or they die intestate, which means they died without saying anything. And that like Graham said, that probate process, probate is from the Latin probare, to prove, right? To test or to prove. So probate means to prove who's entitled to this property, right? Which kind of gives you a clue about the whole process. People, you know, siblings, the question Graham said about finding about the siblings and everything, because there's a lot of infighting usually about, you know, who gets the property, who gets what, who gets to say what. That's why they have that probate, that proving process. And that's good to know, because if we're in the middle of a sibling rivalry fight, probate can go on, can be a protracted, can be a long process, you know, and we don't necessarily want to get involved with that, you know, on the back end. On the front end, when we're cold calling, you still want to get those 4 pillars, that's fine. But just to let you know, in this process on the back end, when we're deciding where to spend our time and on which leads, it's good to have that information, you know, what kind of status this, you know, the family is in with the siblings and everything. But I want to rewind a little bit. I want to get up some energy, man. My boy Jose G. I mean, I love that call, brother. It was wonderful. I mean, I don't see any. I see some reactions in the crowd now, but man, that was great. That was just what we were just talking about. I don't know if everybody noticed this, but my man Jose G pivoted too in the beginning of that call. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, what about this property on blah 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 blah?" And the guy's like, "Man, y'all have your information mixed up. That's the nursing home where my mom's been staying, right? Oh man, I'm sorry. That's bail time, right? Bail. Sorry, wrong number. Sorry, your mom was in a nursing home. Bail. No, what did he do? He said, no, I'm sorry. Whoa. Well, we're real estate investors. We're looking. Do you have any property that you're looking to sell? And what did my man say? Yeah, I got one. And whose was it? It's his mom's that was in the nursing home. Man, quit playing. You know why? I was asking about that one, but you could have told me that she had this other one without me asking, but that's what happens, everybody. They're not going to come out and say these things, right? You need to ask. Did he put up any resistance when my brother Jose G asked him, do you have any other properties? Was he offended? Did he say, oh my God, I can't believe you're asking me a follow-up question, and hang up on him? No, he didn't. He told him about the other property, right? Told him about the other property, and he told him everything that's wrong with that property. That's going to be might be a teardown. Nobody's been in it for 8 years. He said it might need drywall remediation, and those things, when you start listening, you start to be able to read between the lines a little bit. He's probably looked into this stuff a little bit. He's gone through this process, so there's a lot of information there that Jose started to get that we wouldn't have gotten if we just bailed on the call. All right. One other thing I'll point out that he did very well. You get excited about another property, right? But what property is it? We have the wrong address, right? What's the very first question he asked?
What's the address?
What's the address? Boom, just like that. When it's not awkward, at the end, it could be awkward. Hey, what was the address of that property? You know what? I don't know. Where are you calling from? Who are you? Boom, as soon as he said it, yeah, it was just right in line with, hey, you have the wrong address. Okay, you have this other address. Okay, what's that address real quick? Yep, 123 Main Street. Boom, got it. Okay, boom, and he rolled into it. You see how that just flowed? That's not in the script. That's not in the script necessarily to go in that order or do that, but that's how you pull on those threads and you go with it. You see? And it ends up in a great call. I mean, that's a great lead. It may be kind of difficult to get. It's always difficult to get people back on the phone. But if that's a probate, something that's in that probate process that's going to be tied up or done soon, I'll defer to Diana on this. She's a resident probate expert. But that might be something we mess with. You know what I mean? That might be a good lead. So that's all because of the questions and that Jose asked and going through that call. So great job, brother. I mean, I love it. It gets me excited to hear a call like that. Especially when I just said how important it is to pivot and ask these questions. Don't bail on the call. So please, everybody, don't bail on the call. You'll get leads out of it. It's great. It's wonderful. I love it. I see Kevin smiling. I love it. That's great. You got, Kevin's my man there too. You know what I mean? In the trenches. So I love it, man. You guys are doing great. You guys motivate me. This is awesome. Great.
Thank you, Cody. I really do appreciate the feedback.
Right on, brother. I appreciate your efforts, man. It really fires me up. I love it.
Yeah, and just a question for everybody in the crowd as well. What sort of thing could we do while we're waiting during probate, or what could we propose? What's one of the things we could be doing? Any thoughts?
What do you?
Any thoughts? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask what to kind of explain further the question. In what sense?
Well, the first thing I'd like to know is the brothers and siblings, because I want to get this guy to talk about our ideas, our proposals. The main thing I've got in mind, if there is agreement amongst all the siblings, we could do a novation. We could get that property secured because it's going to further deteriorate, especially with it being vacant. We could stop the deterioration and, talk to them about how do we get this property from further deteriorating and declining in value. So that's something we could talk to them about. There needs to be agreement amongst them all, and everything, but it will keep that relationship going. So once we're out of probate, then it can be sold,
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that was gonna be one of my feedbacks actually. When it came to the decision maker, you asked the question very direct, right? So that's why it's so important sometimes, especially in probate cases, to ask about the decision maker in a more open-ended way, right? Is there anyone else that we will need to bring in the conversation? We want to be respectful of everyone that's involved in the process, without being kind of pointing at him directly by asking the question, if that makes sense, right? Because we do want to know, it is extremely important to know if Graham is spot on, to know if there's other, people involved, which usually is, unless they're like an only child type of situation. But there usually is more people involved. In terms of if they're going to sell or not, I think that's a little bit more on the advanced side of things, but definitely that's something to be figured out, later down the road, because if none of the probates, if none of the siblings that are going through probate and that are listed in the petition does not agree to sell the property, there is no deal to be made. Even if it's just one person who disagrees, can kill the entire deal. So yeah, I would just say my feedback now as well. So yeah, Jose, you did a really good job on the call. Also on the price, I know that you just mentioned that you didn't want to get into the price too much, but I think you should. Especially because you're having this type of calls where you're getting all the information and you're moving on, right? You need to start getting prepared here on the cold call side for the lead manager stuff, right? Where you're finding them on price a little bit. I think this was a great lead. 8 years vacant, my eyes and ears perked up. Right? I'm like, I hope this is from New York, right? But it was from Texas, but that's good too. Vacant, one distress indicator, probate, another one. Like these are properties that we literally target. So this was a really good deal. Lead. So next time flag it to us as well, so we can prioritize and send it up as soon as possible.
Okay.
On the chat that you have, HR, LV, and I, Brandy. But yeah, start practicing those more advanced questions that we teach here, so you can get prepared for the next department. So yeah, good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I figured he was gonna have problem setting a price because it is, kind of deteriorating and it's got mold damage and of course he was gonna have to do some research and able to come up with a price. So I'm sure he wasn't expecting that call,
Yeah,
but
and here's another loose thread.
Mhm.
It's very important. 8 years vacant?
Yeah.
Did she die 8 years ago? We need to know a little bit more there because 8 years indicates to me the sibling rivalry, which is very common. They can't come to agreement. Families, I'm not responsible for it attitude, so nothing gets done. 8 years is a long time for a property to be vacant. And he knows the condition of the properties. So when did he last see the property as well? Is pretty important to get a sense of how much he's on top of this situation, because that gives us clues to what's going on and how we can manage it. And we can also offer for a fee, to help manage this property, secure it. That could be part of it while we're waiting.
I do want to point out, you've gotten some, Jose, we've gotten some kind of high level feedback. I do want to recognize there's a fine line between cold calling and lead management. Okay, like a lot of some of the feedback we're giving tonight is more along the lead management side. And that's also because we kind of can see or can recognize people are going that way. So that's kind of that's the goal, is to keep moving you along and have you progress. So don't necessarily feel that you have to get, or that you will get all this information on a cold call, but be thinking about that. Be thinking in terms of that with the questions that you're asking to kind of set that up. Okay, have that in mind. So don't think you have to get so far down in the weeds like we're talking about, like so deep into it. If you can, great. But at the same time, we recognize, on the initial call, it's a little different. And two, we can also expect and train to be moving on and growing in the company and taking on different roles. And like, Jose, Kevin, it's like Miguel, there's some people, Jose Blanco, Ra, obviously, Mohammed, there's a lot of you in here that are really doing great, and have that intuition and that kind of that going that direction, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to point that out.
You're quite right, Cody. With it, and it all depends on the personality type. With this one, he was talking so we could get more information. Yeah, never press them or force them or make them feel uncomfortable. In that sense, draw out what you can from the call. That's important. Yeah. I think this was a very good lead as well for the long term. It's exciting because there's certainly something going on. So I understand your excitement there, Diana. Yeah, on this one.
I really do appreciate all the feedback, guys.
Right on.
It's very interesting. Lots of these different lists and things. It's good to understand their situation, the seller. So some of these are a lot more complicated, like probate, like foreclosure is another one. It's almost like foreclosure. You've got to be very empathetic on the call and get that connection.
Yeah.
Because they're getting called a lot. Foreclosure leads, low hanging fruit. They get everybody calling
It's
them.
true.
Yeah.
All right. We have another call.
Yes, we do. I have one here from Celeste. It's let me see. Okay. She.
Is Celeste here with us tonight?
Yep. Say hi,
Oh, there you are.
Celeste.
Hey, Celeste.
Hi, Cody.
All right.
Hello? Hi,
And it's,
Gary.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
No, it's Celeste, right? That's right. Go ahead.
Hello? Hi, Gary. Hello?
Speaking.
Hi, this is Celeste with the Home Buyers Network. I was calling about your property on Waterview Drive.
Yeah.
See if you have considered possibly selling.
Yeah, I want to sell it.
Mm-hmm. Right, we're looking to buy properties in this area. So, what can you tell me about this property? Have you done any updates or
Oh
improvements?
yeah, it's fully updated. Fully.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. And just to get a better idea of the condition, what would you rate your house 1 to 10?
I'd
10.
rate it. And we just got done remodeling. That's a 10.
Okay, got it. And can you confirm the square foot? It's 1952, correct?
Yeah, right 1950. Yeah, that's,
Okay. And I can see here your property has 3 bedroom and 2 bathroom. Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah, that's correct.
Okay. How about the status of the property? Are you living in it, or is it rented, or
I the corporate tenant.
mm-hmm. So it's rented, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Are the tenants on a fixed lease or month-to-month lease?
It's corporate, so we do short-term rentals. Usually, no less than 2 to 3 months.
Okay. 2 to 3 months is the expiration of the contract.
Yeah,
Okay. So probably within the next May or
yeah,
June.
yeah.
Okay, got it. And if you decide you want to sell your property to us or to anyone, what are the reason why you would consider selling this property?
I'm just trying to downsize. I got a lot of property.
Okay, downsizing. Okay. So if we were able to come up to your asking price, what time frame works best for you? I mean, when you sell this property.
I can sell it anytime. I own them outright.
If the price is right,
Yeah,
you want to sell as soon as possible.
yeah.
Got it. Okay. So so how much would you want to get for it potentially in this property?
I'd say somewhere around 1.6.
1.6. Okay. And the property that I'm referring to is located. Okay. And your asking price here is 1.5. 1.6.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you arrive at that valuation?
Well, it's a really nice house, and I got bidets and all the bathrooms, and um, it's just a really nice house.
Okay, I see. And is there any wiggle room in that price?
I'd probably do 1.5, but that's probably my bottom on it.
Okay, I see. And if you decide to sell your property to us, are there any back taxes or
Oh
mortgage
no,
balances?
no, it's all good.
Okay. And if we were able
able to come up to your asking price, would you be open to discussing terms?
To open to what?
To open to discussing terms?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And let me just confirm I'm speaking with Mr. Gary Graham.
That's right.
And is this your best contact number ending in 6809?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What I'll do now is I'm going to send this information up to one of our property specialists. They'll do the due diligence and give you a call back as soon as possible. So
Sounds
what's
good.
the best? So what's the best time to call you back? Is it morning,
It doesn't matter.
afternoon?
You can call anytime.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Very professional. Very professional. Excellent tone of voice. I think that was great. You awesome.
Thank you, Miguel. I was just confused about his asking price, which is 1.6, because when I was only it has only estimate cost of 349 in Zillow, and then his asking price is it's 1.6.
Okay, so Celeste, that's a good observation, and it's really pleasing for you to have it on the screen and look that up. I would have dug a little bit deeper on that point. You know, if there's something confusing you or you're not sure about, get some clarification, because that's estimate. It might not have taken into account, for example, in building another property on the lot. You know, he might have his estimate might not be aware of something he's done. So always get some clarification on that. But I want to congratulate you. I think you've got the biggest record drop in price, because he wanted 1.6, and then you asked is there any wiggle room, and he dropped it by $100,000. He dropped it from 1.5 million to 1.5. So that's quite an achievement. Amazing. Did you pick up that he said that he has a lot of properties? That was a loose thread I picked up. You could have asked him about that. Lots of properties he's got, and also elaborate on the downside, because that downsizing might not just involve this one property. He might have 100 properties, and he might want to get rid of them all. Now imagine that payday, right? That would be unbelievable, right? So don't be shy of pulling those threads. Yeah, that's very important. But yeah, you're very good at getting through the whole script, all the questions and things. I would say try and be a little bit more conversational, slow down, and not spraying with bullets. You know, more open-ended questions, and get him to talk. And a lot of these answers will flow from his lips rather than you asking all the questions. But you do have a great tone and your pace, and it was easy to understand you, and that's very good.
Thank you, Graham.
I do have something to talk about. This call made me think of a question that I've thought about often, and I don't know how to address it. And that question is, when the person that you're talking to gets a number or a price that they want to sell the property for, and you can tell from Zillow or whatever that that price is a bit inflated. How can I go around the fact that if I ask them about, oh, how did you get to that valuation, that might sound a bit rude and might sound a bit on the offensive, instead of just wanting to genuinely ask? I think I've struggled to get that point across sometimes, and I just wanted to see what can I do in that situation. For example, to not sound like I'm picking a fight with him about the price. I just want to understand, how did you get to that number?
It's a very good question. I retired my real estate license last year, but you could approach it from a realtor mindset and say, in your professional opinion, do you think the property will appraise for your asking price? And they can't get offended at that. So do you think the property will appraise for the price you're asking?
Another way to ask, we actually covered this very question, exact same question came up in lead manager training today, and TJ just put it in the chat. Is to ask that question. Or you get the price and they go, okay, is that what similar houses in the neighborhood are going for? Just like that. That's another way to ask. Is that going to always work? No. Is what Graham said it can always work? No. But those are two innocuous ways of asking, of getting how they arrive at that valuation.
Yeah, and they're very similar. But if you say appraise, you're getting insinuating professional opinion when you say, do you think it will appraise? Because most people who are going to buy your property are going to have to get a bank loan or at least a lender to give you a loan to purchase the property. So that lender will want to know that that property will appraise for the price. That's not going to lend the money. So that's keeps on a professional level when you appraise it that way, because comping is anybody's opinion, right? But when you use the word appraisal, you're using a profession. So that's how I approach it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I should be going with the appraisal side, because I tried saying, oh, is there the houses like in the area are selling for the same price, and one answer I got toward like for that question was that, oh, the houses are not as good as my house. They're not in top condition as my house, or they're not as,
yes.
you know.
Yes. It's unprofessional that people always pick on a neighbor, and it's $1 million property, and they got 3 more bedrooms than they have, and I mean, they're not appraisers. So that's why I say lead to the appraisal. Bring that word profession in. They're trained at valuing properties. It's still an opinion, but it's a professional opinion. A bit like when in court, when you get a professional witness, right? They have to be an expert in their field. So you've got to plant that in the mind of the seller. You know, in your opinion, do you think the ask price would an appraiser agree with you on this price?
Okay, got it. Thanks, Graham.
All right, good question. Do you have any other questions or feedback? Not everybody at once. Okay. Well, we've got a few minutes left here. What do you say we do a role play in the last minutes here?
Yeah, let's do that.
Role play, role play, role play,
Yeah.
role play, role play.
All right. We got it. Okay. So who's gonna volunteer?
Jose Blanco.
Anybody besides Jose Blanco? And I love you, Jose. You know that. That's why I'm trying to get these guys.
Yeah, I know, man. I love you too.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I think I'm down.
Oh boy, stepping out the boat. Okay.
I can be a seller.
I could be a seller too, if whatever.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, you know, let Jose be a seller since he wanted to volunteer. Miguel, we'll get you next time, brother. I promise.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right, ring ring. Jose, hey.
Jose,
Is Jose here?
Jose, you're the seller. ¿Qué pasó?
Jose's gone.
Okay, Miguel, take it away.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, ring ring.
Yeah, hello.
Hey Miguel, this is Mona from the Home Buyers Network. I was calling about the property on 123 Main Street.
Okay, what about it?
We're real estate investors. We just wanted to see if you could consider the possibility of selling.
Well, I haven't thought about it. What do you got? What can you offer?
Well, that's a great question, but this is kind of the step one of the process. We're just gauging if you're interested in the idea or not first. And it does sound like you're interested in the idea. Can I just confirm with you a couple of things? General stuff like the
Sure,
condition of the
sure.
house and the bedroom counts.
The house is in excellent condition. I mean, I did a lot of remodeling. I'm a contractor, so it's completely redone. The floors, the roof. I mean, it's in excellent condition.
So like from 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
20.
20. Okay, so it
Yeah.
does not need any kind of touching, nothing.
Nothing. I've done it all, man. I'm a contractor, so everything's brand new. Everything. I mean, the house is in top shape. I don't think there's any houses like mine in this neighborhood, to be honest with you.
Okay. And what made you consider the possibility of selling?
Well, I'm not. You're calling me, so I mean, if I'm considering selling, it's because you're calling me. So tell me
Does
what you
that mean
got.
you're?
Tell me what you got. And
Yeah, I was just asking because it does sound like you might have a price in mind for the property itself as an offer.
well, what can you offer me? I would love to hear an offer from you first.
Yeah, as I said, we definitely want to give you an offer, but the purpose of my call is to see if you're even interested. So that's why I was just asking about the price in mind. If you did want to sell it, it's your property, so you would want to give it a price to sell it for, right?
I haven't really thought about it because I did all these updates, and I mean, I put a lot of money into this house. But I mean, sure. I mean, if you give me 500,000, I'll
Okay, how
sell.
about this? What are the similar properties in the area are selling for? Do you know that?
Oh man, I'm not sure. I mean, I know of mine, but I don't know about the neighbors. I haven't really asked around, to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you. But I think it's a fair price. I put a lot of money into it, so
Yeah, we're obviously looking
lot
to
of money.
make a fair deal and a sensible one at that. And after this call, as I said, we're just gonna gather a bunch of info, maybe come
So
up
what do
with
you
a
need?
possible.
Because I mean, I don't have a lot of time. What can you offer? Just tell me what you can offer, please. And
Yeah, I was just asking the general condition. You already said that it's a 20
it's
out
20,
of 10,
20, 20.
and I just wanted to say, is it occupied right now? Is it
Yeah, I'm
vacant?
living in it right now. That's where I live. Yes.
Okay, and if we did get you a number or an offer that you seem to agree with, what would happen with that?
I'll be homeless,
Do
but
you have a
but yeah, it's okay. I mean, I would sell for the right price because I want to retire. I want to just go to Florida. You know.
Okay, so skipping town. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll sell for the right price. If you give me 500,000, I'll sell it.
500.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Sure thing. As I said earlier, we want to make a sensible deal. But is there any kind of wiggle room in that number? Any kind of negotiation?
500 solid. I mean, that's where I'm staying. 500. I know it's worth it. I know it's worth it.
Okay. And if we come up to your asking price, would you be open to discussing terms?
Sure. Absolutely.
All right. So we can do this offer or deal as slowly or as fast as you can. It depends on your pace or your decisions, obviously. So what would be the best possible time frame for us to work with
Oh,
you?
it's not my decision. It's yours. Because if you give me the money, it's all good. We do it. We'll do it.
I understand, but let's say we got you the offer. You'd still need to like move out and stuff and clear the property itself because you are selling it. So that's why I'm just asking, like, what's the best possible
a month?
A month. All right.
Yeah.
And is the number I'm calling you right now the best one to call you back in?
Yes, that's the best.
All right. Just one small question. Last one, I swear.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask about the taxes. Is there any back taxes, any mortgage that we need to take care of?
No taxes.
Just for a heads up.
Only like 80,000 in mortgage. That's it.
80,000 mortgage. Yep. And we also want to be respectful of anyone and everyone involved in this process. Do we need to bring out anyone into this conversation?
I hope not. It's my house. No, that's it. Just me. By myself.
All right.
I'm single.
Okay.
Looking for a wife. But...
All right. Time. That's it. Good job.
All right.
I felt a bit shaken. I'm sorry. It's just I don't
sorry,
work
man.
under
I'm
pressure
sorry.
that well. I'm sorry.
Mohammed, you did great.
Sorry
Miguel,
about
you're a
that,
great
Mohammed.
seller. Miguel, you're a great seller. Mohammed, you did great, man.
Yeah, that was good.
Let me hear your guys' feedback for yourself on that, because you're gonna go ahead.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I definitely went all over the place. I should have streamlined the call a bit better. You know, step by step instead of just going and then circling back and then going somewhere again. It's just the fact that, you know, from the seller's perspective, I felt like he's not really sure about selling. That's why I was just focusing more about the fact that there has to be a price, right? There has to be a motivation. And I failed to crack that, sadly.
No, I was just giving you a hard time, Mohammed. That's all. I'm sorry about that, but
No,
you're gonna get that. You're gonna
the
get that
thing
anyway.
is, the call sounds realistic.
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying
Right.
anything out of the
It's
ordinary.
real life.
It's just
You
that
know, that's exactly what
yeah.
we get all the time. Is that type of type of people like that. So yeah, that was good though. I mean, I think you were good. You asked the questions. I didn't get annoyed. I really put myself on the shoes of a seller, and I it was okay. I mean, I think it was good. You asked the right questions and all. So
All right, thank you.
TJ, I see that, TJ. That's just that's the curtain behind me here. It's pink. That's why the reflection.
No, he's referring to your temperament.
Oh,
like, it's a color. Sometimes you guys Graham asks like, hey, what color was that person?
Oh, I thought it
Personality
was me. My face was red.
Oh,
No, it's a disc profile. It's
Gotcha.
red is more
Yes.
gonna be more assertive, more direct, and so that's what you're kind of going with. Hey, that's my price. That's what I'm going to do. This one, very direct and going
right.
So when you have a red seller, you just have to go with the flow with them. You can't always dictate where that's going to go. You try to, but they want this. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going with that. And Mohammed did really well. He just went with the flow, got what he can. Sometimes that's all you can do with the red seller. You just try to stay as long as they'll let you. Sometimes they're real quick. And so I think he did a great job. Yeah, I know he felt like he was bouncing around a lot, but that's just part of it when you have a red seller. Just keep with it and keep asking those questions, and you'll get those pillars. And then, the property specialist can handle it from there. But that was a good job, man.
Yeah, and I'll emphasize that as well, Mohammed. Yeah, once you got the price out of him, you can move on to the other pillars. This is cold calling, so you don't need to get tangled up with that. So that relieves a lot of stress. You got 500. You did a good job getting a number from him because he didn't want to give you a number. He kept saying, "Well, you give me a number," because he wasn't really interested in selling right now. But it's worth getting the pillars and just passing it on. It did cross my mind whether you're going to use the appraisal that we just talked about, but that wouldn't have achieved anything in this case. You got a number, and that was all you needed. So good job.
Thank you.
right on. Any other feedback? Any other questions? We're good. We're at time here. It was a great role play to wrap it up tonight. I loved it. You guys did great, making me proud.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. Thanks for stepping up and putting yourself out there. You sounded good. If there's no other questions, then we're gonna go ahead and wrap up for tonight. This is Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll meet back again Monday night. Okay. Follow us on Facebook and what the REI Blueprint. I forget all the stuff what we were supposed to do. Dan is really good at this. But yeah, the REI Blueprint. Hold on.
I can help you.
Thank you. Thank you. I always forget.
No problem.
Here, I'll
All
put.
right, everybody. So follow our Facebook group. There we post any guest speakers that we'll have for next week. If you have any additional questions, if you need to get a hold of anybody here, most of us are already on that chat. So do reach out, join, invite other people to join as well that are in the real estate community. And share the group, in your social medias too, so other people can join. But yes, this is Thursday, so we're back here again on Monday. Okay, Monday night. We're back here again. We have actually a guest speaker next week, which is exciting. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I hope you all enjoy your weekend, and I will see you again on Monday, same time, same link. Appreciate everybody.
And if anyone's interested in direct to agent, that's my department. So if just contact me, you can do that through the Facebook or through my Calendly link. Let me know because we're going to have Zoom calls, role play pretty much like we're doing here, question and answers, and so it'll be a lot of fun. So let me know if you're interested in that. All right.
Ooh.
Right on. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Good night.
See you next week.
Bye-bye for all.
Bye. Bye.